Hey, and welcome to Matt and Jess TV. I am Matt Roast.
And I'm Jessica Bun Bun.
Welcome to our first official Big Brother
Mhm.
27 live feed update of the season. Who's excited? Let us know in the comments. We are very excited. We
Mhm.
are also very, very tired. It was a long night of trying to see all these people for the first time in their natural habitat.
Yeah, I mean, they've been in there for quite a while. We have had two shows, but we haven't actually gotten to catch up yet until later last night on what is actually going on, who's having problems with who, what's going on, who won the veto, who's likely going to be the person going up that Vince is going to replace that person with. It's all here.
Yeah, we have all the information. And, as a lot of you who are longtime Big Brother feeders know, the first couple episodes, the pregame, that's all basically like, I like going to a barbecue restaurant. What can I say? So it's sort of like you go to the restaurant, they bring you some onion tanglers or whatever fancy word for onion rings they have as an appetizer. You're just kind of munching on things. Now, we have like the full slab of brisket and all the sides. We actually get to know these people on a real level. So, of course, favorites are going to shift. Gameplay is going to shift. A lot of things are happening that we would not even imagine were happening before.
Yeah, I mean, things have gotten pretty messy pretty quickly, which, we're a fan of. We like messy Big Brother houses. And that is exactly what is happening. Some of our favorites might be in just a little bit of trouble, but, that's all part of the game, right?
Yeah, we all just have to buckle up, put our hard hats on, kind of get prepared for what could be coming up here. But okay, if you guys did miss it, last night we had a full video talking all about Showergate, everything in episode 2. We highly suggest you check out our
Mhm.
take on the silliest possible nothing burger of the season, but also be sure to hit that subscribe button now because daily live feed updates
Mhm.
for Big Brother 27 are coming your way all season long. This has been a really fun season to talk about. It's been a really fun season to discuss in the comments with you guys, and we appreciate everyone who has subscribed so far this season. Like, it's really blown us away, honestly.
Yeah, thank you so much. It really does help us out, and we
Mhm.
really appreciate it. And if you want more Big Brother discussion, you can come chat with us over on our Patreon. I'll leave a link for you below.
Thank you guys so much for your support over there.
Mhm.
Let's just start though with pure comedy. So last night the feed started at about 9:30 p.m. And by the way, when we talk about actual time in here, we're talking Pacific time because that's where the Big Brother house is, right?
Mhm.
So we were all kind of sitting back and being like, what's the first conversation going to be? What's the thing
Right?
that they're going to open up these live feeds on? They gave us the most hilarious outcome possible.
Yeah, we had Jimmy and Rachel actually talking game together for as much as the show has been like, Jimmy, yeah, oh, we got to get her out. Oh, we can't get her out this week. We're going to get her out next week. She's going to be the second boot. Get her out, get her out. Here they are talking game. And it makes sense to some degree. If Jimmy wants to get out Rachel, he needs her not to know that. So, how do you do that? You talk game. And in this game, you kind of just talk game with anyone who wants to talk game. If someone's like, hey, do you want to be in the Cheese Alliance? Yeah, I want to be in the Cheese Alliance. No problem. It doesn't mean that you actually are interested.
Yeah, that's a big thing. I mean, we all love cheese, right? But at the same time, there might be a point where we get sick of cheese or somebody offers us the Pizza Alliance and everybody really likes pizza.
Here's the thing. I don't think that Jimmy is going to go to the final two with Rachel. He has said it, and I believe what he is saying that he knows that if anybody sits beside Rachel, that Rachel's just going to win. Like, will he use her to get a little further? Sure. Is he telling her what she wants to hear? Sure. Like, but he's not going to be, okay, we're final two and mean it.
So I was immediately trying to think, okay, these two big gamers, because it's pretty clear they're both big gamers at this point, are
Hmm.
talking like, what can we sort of glean from this conversation right away? And the immediate takeaway, one of the first strategic takeaways we had from the feeds, before we even knew who won the veto or anything else, is a lot of talk about distrust towards Kelly, of all people, that she is basically walking up to people, saying things, and then just kind of walking away. Like, for example, with Ava, goes up to Ava, and this is secondhand information according to the two of them, but supposedly she says, "I see you playing the long game," and then she just leaves.
It's not good. It's not good gameplay. You can't make people really uncomfortable like that in the house, and you can't call out people's games, whether that's Ava's game or not Ava's game. Doing something like that is immediately for Ava. If I was Ava, I'd be like, okay, so Kelly needs to go. If she thinks that I'm playing the long game and I am playing the long game, she definitely has to go. If she thinks I'm playing the long game and I'm not, she's going to tell people that that's what I'm doing, so she has to go. I don't understand this strategy at all, why Kelly is doing this, because it is just putting a target on her back.
Here's the thing, future Big Brother players. Leave the analysis of other people's games for us. We're happy to do it on the outside.
Right?
We will do it. We will talk smack. We will label people bad players, and then you do not have the pressure of telling people to their face your take on their game, because that's a bad move, because they want to think that they believe that you are a great player. They want to think that it's a level playing field and that there's no judgment coming their way.
And nobody wants their game called out on, like, the first week of Big Brother. It's a really dangerous, messy, bad gameplay.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about Veto. I mean, we said in our video last night that it's like, okay, Jess and I, no surprise to anyone out there, we're team drama. We are team excitement. I think we both were kind of hoping that Ashley, after Showergate, would find a way to win this.
Yeah, I wanted to see Ashley or Amy, one of them win. I want them both to stay. The Showergate was so ridiculous, and, they shouldn't be going home over that. And Ashley won the veto.
Okay, this is very, very exciting. It is exactly like you said. I mean, Showergate, it's bad etiquette on Ashley's part to take a shower for as long as she did in someone's HOH room. Like, it's not something you should do, but it's also not a reason to send someone out the game. And I know Vince said he had some other reasons, but let's be honest here. A lot of it was just every single person going to him and talking about Showergate. And clearly Vince does not want to look like the bad guy. He's just trying to find a safe option so we can go in, BHOH, and then kind of get out and then move forward.
Yeah, some of it is that. Some of it is that everybody wants her out, so this is a safe option. But some of it, I'm sure, is also him being a bit irritated, where he's in the middle of conversations and she's coming in over and over again. I understand she's, I'm tired, I want to go to sleep. Everybody's tired and wants to go to sleep. I'm sure Vince wanted to go to sleep while you were in the shower for 2 hours. You can wait. And I'm sure that that's just like weighing and weighing and weighing into his decision. And then once Amy comes in and she's crying about Ashley, I mean, all of this factors in. It's not just that everybody's coming to him and being like, oh, Ashley. I think Vince has his own reasons for it as well.
Okay, here's the great news for Ashley. In addition to, of course, winning the veto and being safe for the week, magically, Showergate is out the window. Nobody's talking about Showergate. The only person who's concerned about it at this point is whoever in Big Brother production has to pay the water bill. Everybody else is A-okay, not an active subject of conversation anymore. Okay, I will say this right away here, and this is a good beef hat occasion. We haven't had a beef hat so far this season.
Hat, yeah.
All right. Feeders, or I guess I should say players. We're the feeders. Why did it take so long for the veto to be revealed last night? I was sitting around watching these people. I heard at one point Mickey say she wanted to go to bed before we even had all the information. Mickey, it's 10 o'clock. Why are you going to bed at 10 o'clock when everybody is still awake in the house?
So I love a girl who's going to go to bed at 10 o'clock. I like to go to bed at a reasonable hour. I completely understand, Mickey. I get it, Mickey. I do not want to be up 11, 12 o'clock at night chit-chatting about game. This is why I would never play Big Brother. I would just be really bad at it. I'd be like, it's time to go to bed. It's 10 o'clock. I'm not staying up all night. And all the big conversations happen after 10.
Okay, well, here's a good question for the comments. How late are you guys staying up in the Big Brother house? Because here's the thing. I'm a little more of a night owl than Jess is, but I'm not one of these people who's going to stay up till like 2 or 3 in the morning. If there's conversations happening then, I'm gonna miss them because I want to go to bed at like 12 to 1. Maybe I'll catch
Oof.
some of the early birds. In real life, no, I go to bed at like 11. I'll extend it a little bit in the Big Brother house, but I'm not doing 2 or 3 in the morning. Like, I'm just sorry.
No, I'd be wrecked for competitions. Like the next day, I would just be a zombie. So that's a no for me. I'm team go to bed at 10 o'clock.
Okay, so obviously Ashley's safe now. She's
Yep.
gonna take herself off the block with the veto ceremony coming up. So this then turns into, all right, we already know Amy and Zay are on the block. The
Hmm.
BB Blockbuster slash formerly known as AI Arena is coming, but who is the replacement nominee going to be?
Yeah, it seems it's very likely going to be Kelly. And we saw this conversation on the show with Vince, with Kelly, that they are close, and her being like, you know what, if I need to go up, that's fine. I don't want people to know that we're working together. Kind of like Team Guyana in that way. Oh, we got to make sure that nobody knows that we're working together so one of us can get to the end and win. And that is what happened on Survivor. Spoilers. However, this is not really the same here. They don't really have that same connection. And Kelly is being very messy and sketching people out with her whole, like, I see your game and calling out game. And people are getting weird and upset about it. And Vince knows this. So for him at this point, yeah, maybe he doesn't want to put an ally on the block. Nobody wants to do that. It's never really a great move. However, do you really want to tie yourself to Kelly this early on? I mean, she is a sinking anchor at this point. So if you're going to tie yourself to Kelly and she's going to continue to behave this way, it's going to stick to you, Vince. So this isn't a bad move for Vince.
Okay, this is the real thing of all of it. It's like having a good, really close alliance, one that you can sort of hide. It's great when both the people are good players. It's like
Right.
you mentioned with Team Guyana, Kyle and Camilla, both really, really good players.
Yes.
Vince, he has some potential. I know some people are really upset with Vince today, last night, over some of the moves that he's making, but like I don't see this as a Frenchie or an Angela sort
Nope.
of move. Like he's not going completely haywire. Now, is this a risk to put up Kelly? Because, like, really, it seems like in his heart of hearts, he wants Kelly to win the blockbuster. He wants
Mhm.
Kelly to be safe. He doesn't want Kelly to leave the game. And then it's like, well, you're still putting her on the block. You're still potentially limiting an ally. And then also, Kelly, why are you willingly wanting to go up there? This is Big Brother. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, I don't understand. I never understand anyone who's like, "Oh, you can put me up as a pawn or put me up to what." Don't ever do that. Pawns always go home. And if Vince really feels like she is an ally and she is going to be someone that he can ride or die with, then you just never put them on the block. It is really early in Big Brother. There's lots of people that could go home and nobody's going to be upset about at this point,
Yes.
but people don't like what Kelly is doing. That's why I'm saying, like, for me, my tinfoil hat is while Vince probably doesn't want her to go home and is saying, oh, I don't want you to go home. You're an ally. It'll work out. This is better for Vince's game if she goes home, if she is going to continue doing this, because this isn't just I took a 2-hour shower. She's actually going around to people and calling out their games, whether that's true or not, which is going to make people very upset and make people feel like, well, she's telling me that I'm playing the long game, whether it's true or not. She's going to tell other people that that's happening. So that's terrible for my game. It takes almost nothing to get the attention on you. It takes a 2-hour shower and all of a sudden you're on the block. Like, that's a nothing burger, but this is actually something that could hurt people. So Vince, if she goes home, this is better for your game.
I think long term, he will probably be fine because he goes out of this situation. And, because Kelly basically asked herself, okay, I'm willing to go up here, whatever, however you want to define it. Like she's made it very clear that
She's
she's
fine with it.
okay with it. You're not really making an adversary in her if she does manage to stick around. And
Right.
so it's like he's playing a very safe game in that way. And I
Mhm.
know safe games are not always the most fun game
But
of
they win you the money.
they win you the money. And Vince is not being overly aggressive. It seems like he's talking to a lot of people, like
Mhm.
he's got kind of sort of an alliance group. We'll talk about that later. I don't know how much we really trust like early alliance groups in Big Brother at this particular point.
Mhm.
Okay, but he also did consider at least some other possibilities for a replacement nominee. Like he did talk a little bit about Adrian, who, okay, he is our guy, Adrian, at this point. I have fully come over to you in supporting Adrian in this game.
Yeah, here's the this is the thing about Adrian, who I really like. He is really nerdy. He is really awkward. This is why I like him. He feels like, my little brother kind of thing.
Mhm.
I think it's so hard in this house, and we've seen nerds go to the end and win, Ian Terry. It happens, and it happens quite often. So I could see people seeing him as a threat in that way, because lots of times people do want to take the nerd under their wing and kind of go forward with it. But right now, he's making some connections, kind of, sort of, but he's not making deep enough connections this early on. And I think that if he went, I don't think anyone's going to be upset about it.
It's interesting you bring up Ian because I think this is a really good comparison where it's like early on Big Brother 14, Ian was kind of sort of on the outs, and it took Ian some time until he
Hmm.
got the quack pack and all of that sort of stuff going, where he really kind of started to have this really core people around him. And
Yeah.
it's like nobody really seems to dislike Adrian as far as I can tell. It
No.
seems like he's just kind of out there looking for a home, and he
Mhm.
doesn't really have that many close connections, so he could have been someone who went up. I'm glad it's probably not going to be Adrian because it's just like, one, I find him endearing, and two,
Yes.
I just think that his time in this game is still to come.
Yeah, I agree. I think that he's just a bit more of a slow burn with that, which is something that I relate to. I would not be someone that goes into the house. I'm everybody's friend. I'm with everybody. It takes me a little while to open up with people, so I would be very bad at this game because the longer it takes to open up, the harder it is to build those connections. It's not impossible, like Ian, where it
Yeah.
does take a little while, but that's not the norm with this game.
Yeah. Okay. So it does seem very, very likely Kelly is going to be the replacement
Right.
nominee. Now, if we're talking about other alternatives, like who could it be instead? Like there's one name that's really come up, and this one does like put a major pit into my stomach here.
Dislike, don't like it, don't like it. It's Keanu. I don't like it.
I am very upset about the idea of this, but I mean, at the same time, he's been a little bit messy. Not everybody trusts him. He's also not talked game with certain people. He's talked about wanting to keep Kelly, get rid of Zay. Instead, it's just sort of like, I don't think Keanu has like done some like huge game breaking mistake, but it's sort
No.
of like if you're rubbing anyone the wrong way this early on in the season, it is an easy, convenient person to get out. I mean, that's really the case for Kelly. It's just like she's made some people uncomfortable. She's made them feel like she's actively watching her game, and that's a problem.
Yeah, Keanu's not doing any of that. If the biggest problem that people are having is that he's not talking game with you, everybody in this house is doing that. Everybody. Every single person. No one is like, I have talked to this person, this person. I've covered the bases with everyone. It doesn't work like that. This is a social game, right? You're not friends with everybody. You're not in an alliance with everybody. Some people have tried that. It never works. So whoever is out here being like, oh, well, he hasn't talked game with me. Well, if you talk game with him, like, it goes both ways. It's sort of that, like, well, they didn't call me, so I'm not going to call them. It's like, okay, well, then that was never going to be a partnership anyways. It's just it's still so early. People talk to the people that they think that they can make connections with. So if he hasn't spoken to you yet, it's been a minute that you guys have been in the house. You're just looking for a reason to get rid of him, and that's kind of the way it goes first week, unfortunately.
Okay, I will say that Keanu did provide my favorite unintentional comedy moment from the feeds overnight. I watched this entire conversation and I was so compelled. They made the mistake of asking Keanu, and everybody was kind of out around the hot tub. There's a lot of people there. They asked him about his Dungeons and Dragons
Hmm.
character. unless you are ready to sit there and listen for 15 minutes, you don't ask somebody about their Dungeons and Dragons character. It's like asking about somebody's fantasy football team. It's just like they will go on and on. Rachel's face watching Keanu talk about, she looked like she was just like, can I go back to being with Brendan again? Like, why did I come back onto this show?
It's tough because you want to ask about people's interests, and I totally get it. And playing D&D is definitely people specific. It's kind of like Adrian and his praying mantises. Not everyone's gonna want to get deep into it. We saw his whole like setup to breed these praying mantises for his garden and stuff like that. If you ask him about, the same thing is gonna happen. However, it's the same thing with anything. If somebody comes in, they're like, oh, I love ice skating. I do it all the time. Tell me about your ice skating. You're going to get a 10-minute conversation about ice skating. It's the way that it is, right?
Yeah.
It's just this thing that he likes so much is very nerdy, and it's a pretty small group of people that play Dungeons and Dragons.
Yes.
I don't blame him for it. Like, should he have reined it in? No. The thing is just, if this was anything else and people could relate to him, or, oh, tell me about how much you like to play soccer. Sure, lots of people like to play soccer, so you can have a longer conversation. But that shouldn't mean that you shouldn't have a longer conversation about something that you asked. You asked the best Dungeons and Dragons character, you're going to hear about it.
Don't worry, Keanu. You can be the paladin for our hearts. We're here for you. Okay, so really, it feels to me anyway like a lot of the anti-Keanu sentiment right now is coming via Jimmy, and ironically, a lot of the anti-Jimmy sentiment is coming from Keanu. So it's just like, for basically all the dramatics that you just pointed out, I want these two to stay around in this game as long as possible, because it's like very abundantly clear they want each other out. It feels like this could be a great back and forth that we could see for a little while, and that would be really entertaining.
Yeah, my biggest worry for Keanu was just that he's the biggest guy in the house, and that he's probably going to be able to win a lot of competitions.
Yeah.
And Jimmy might be looking at him being like, hey, I may not be able to beat him in competition, so if I get him out early enough, then I have a better shot at that. I understand why Jimmy's looking at him.
Yeah.
I just don't like it.
No, I don't like it either. And Jimmy, we'll get more into Jimmy in a minute, but you play in a little bit of a messy game. So there's the possibility that both Jimmy and Keanu could unfortunately be out before too long. But Jimmy's already pushed this idea of Keanu to Vince. And I mean, I think Vince is listening, but I think Vince also doesn't want to make a move like this too early that causes blowback, because it's just sort of like, you've already got Kelly saying she's okay going up there.
Right.
If Keanu goes up and Keanu wins or manages to stay safe after Blockbuster, or no matter what it is, it's just like, that's not really somebody you want coming after you, especially if the next HOH is like a powerlifting competition or something like that.
I just think that Kelly is the move. I understand putting your ally on the block is not the right move, but when your ally is doing what she's doing, it is the right move. She is making people upset. She's going to be connected to your game as well. If you keep her around, that is just going to end up sending you out. It is the right move, and the house will not be upset about it. You will get out of your first HOH with information, some connections, and someone out that everybody wants out. Vince will be able to recover from this, and he will be able to then move throughout the house, not as HOH, and continue to build those other connections. He will be okay.
Yeah, I think he's going to be fine. Now, if you're wondering, it's like, oh, well, why would Vince listen to Jimmy in the first place? It's because, okay, let's just put it this way. A lot of times early in Big Brother, there's a lot of inconsequential alliances, and we're not going to spend all of our oxygen this season talking about this alliance, that alliance. But this alliance here, the heavy hitters, is probably the one that I feel like is going to make it onto the show, and it's, Rachel, Vince, Jimmy, Morgan, Riley, Zach. It feels like this is that alliance that happens every season on Big Brother. The HOH forms like some sort of group, and since Jimmy's in this, he's gonna listen, but it also just feels like this alliance is not really gonna stick around. I mean, you talked earlier about the whole Jimmy versus Rachel of it all. Riley didn't even really want to meet with this alliance. He's just sort of like, I'm good. I don't want us to all be seen together. It's just like, okay, this is just I give this 2 weeks tops, and then this is just over.
Yeah, I mean, Jimmy's part of so many alliances and partnerships at this point. I don't even know if he can keep track of it all.
Yeah, I really don't know if he can either, but it just seems like that's kind of sort of going on. We know from the show that Rachel is already pretty close to Amy, according
Yep.
to Kelly. Rachel may also be close to Ashley. Like, there's a lot of different stuff that's going on with that sort
Yeah.
of grouping, and Rachel's positioned herself as reasonably well, I guess, as somebody could be this early
Mhm.
on in the game.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so is it really 100% Kelly is going to be going? Like, it's hard to track votes. It seems like it. But in the event that we're in a position where, okay, Kelly wins the BB blockbuster, she's safe. It's that I think Amy versus Zay would be interesting. I think Zay likely goes, but I'm not going to sit here and like circle it in permanent marker yet.
Yeah, I think he likely goes, but it's really hard if it does end up being the two of them of who would actually end up going or not.
Okay, now let's talk a little bit about Jimmy and all of the mess you are creating, Jimmy, including with your own allies like Morgan.
Yeah, I mean, that conversation was a little bit pointed.
It feels a lot like Jimmy, and this is why Jimmy's going to be great TV.
Yes,
I
he is.
still, in every fabric of my being, I want him to win HOH because it's going to be a disaster, and I'm going to sit here eating all my popcorn while he thinks that he is king, emperor, president, all of the above. He's already trying to micromanage Morgan. He's like talking over her, not listening to her. There is that whole triple threat thing that he had
Mhm.
going on, and we even saw some of this on the show, but it's
Yep.
just like she's clearly getting really, really irritated with him already.
Yeah, and I know that he's not really the biggest name that's being floated around now out there besides, Keanu. But I mean, if he does keep this up and he doesn't win the next HOH or the one after, he could really be in trouble if he just keeps this up. Nobody wants to be micromanaged in the Big Brother house. Like, yeah, you can be in an alliance together, but you have to hear out the people you're working with. That's why it's an alliance. They're not your employees.
Okay, Jimmy did have one of my favorite overnight live feed lines, though. Everybody was having this conversation about dream jobs, and he was just sort of basically like, I don't have a dream job. I'm not a fan of labor. And I was just like, you know what? What a king. It's just like, who really likes working? Seriously. It is just sort of like he is kind of sort of a contrarian, though, let's be honest.
I like working.
Okay, listen.
Listen, it really makes me feel validated in my life. I feel like there's not a lot of us out there. The only other person that I know that was like, I'll work till the end of days was my grandfather Compton. He loved working. He loved his job so much. And he worked way past retirement, like way, way past until he just couldn't work anymore. And even then, when he was like bedridden, he was like, bring me the phone. Like, that's what I feel like I'm going to end up being like, because I feel like working and being here on YouTube, it brings me purpose. And, I know that I'm on an island with that, but that's
Listen.
fine. That's going to be me. I'm going to be way past retirement being like, bring me the phone.
Okay, we've got you've got Compton, and apparently you also have Clint Eastwood, who's just going to be like,
He'll be working till the end of time.
I'm directing another movie now. Okay, now it's time though. We kind of broached this subject a little bit last night that Zach is getting very close now to entering the delusional ice cream parlor,
Oh,
and
no.
I am here to tell you all now. I'm behind the counter. I'm serving
Yep.
Zach like 3 scoops of it because he is out of his mind. He was having this conversation with Rachel where he feels like Lauren was put into the house for him, that this is like destiny. And I don't know if he's just trying to gas up Rachel because it's like it worked for you and Brendan, it's going to work for me too. But it's
Good.
just like, it feels like everyone knows that Zach and Lauren are in a showmance except for Lauren. And I'm just sort of sitting back and being like, I kind of feel for her because we like Lauren. We talked about this in the last
Yeah.
couple of videos.
Yeah, I like Lauren a lot. I think she's very intuitive, very perceptive. She's very smart. And yeah, then we have Zach over here who's just like, hard eyes. We're going to be together. Production is doing the same thing. They gave him this like humongous power that's basically the power of showmance to keep him into this game. And it's just like, oh my goodness, Zach, like, I understand she's a beautiful woman, she's really smart, you want to have what Rachel and Brendan have, and because what they have is really amazing, that they have met on this show and gone on to marry and kids and have this really great relationship. But like, it's been a minute since you guys have been in the house.
Okay, Zach, I'm going to tell you this right now. If you go into the diary room on this next episode and you say verbatim what you said to Rachel, I hope Grodner walks in and takes the $10,000 from you. I'm sorry. You do not deserve this power anymore if you believe in like the star-crossed destiny of you and Lauren in the game together.
Hey, sometimes it happens where you're just like, this was made just for me, like Duster on Max. That show was made just for me. Everything about it, I was like, oh my goodness. They sat around a table at Max and was just like, you know what, Jessica would really like Duster. Let's put this show together for just her, and it'll get canceled at the end of one season because only Jessica's watching this.
Yes, I wish you guys made it for other people as well, because then we could have had a Duster season 2, and I really like that show. But okay, the final bit of ice cream here, courtesy of Zach, is him basically being like, I want Amy out this week because I didn't like Angela and I don't like her. It seems like he's kind of calling Angela from last season a floater, which is, for one, just completely insane. Angela is like the complete opposite of a floater. Angela was out of her mind the entire season, and also Angela was entertainment gold. Even if you hated Angela, you had to pay attention to her. How dare you, wanting to get rid of anybody who wants to provide us complete entertainment? I don't care if they're a good player or not.
Nobody's a floater yet. Nothing has happened yet. Oh my goodness. We've had one HOH and one veto. This is all that has happened yet. Like, pull it back, Zach. It'll be okay, man.
Okay, I've got a power ranking now. Of the 3 people I am the most desperate to win HOH coming up, number 3 is probably Zach, because he's going to get like even more delusional, and that's going to be really funny.
Oh, that's going to be a power trip.
Number 2 is Ashley, just because I want to see what she's going to do now that she's kind of getting her footing. Number 1 is still Jimmy. Because the Jimmy flame out with him being HOH and completely angering the entire house. We will all be the Elmo gift surrounded by the fire.
Absolutely, but I don't want it to be next week, because if it's next week, he's going to end up like going home the week after. It can't be too early. I can't see that flame out. I really enjoy watching Jimmy because he is so messy. He's got some good ideas, but you know, they're starting to get messy.
Okay, guys, there we are. That's our first Big Brother 27 live feed update of the season. This was very, very fun. We hope you guys are having a good time with this season. Like we have been saying, you know, we're going to be here daily throughout the season with updates from the live feeds. Be sure to hit that subscribe button. Let us know all your thoughts in the comments. Also, if you guys like Dexter, we are in the midst of Dexter Resurrection. It just started. We really love it. Hopefully this is not going to be like Duster, and it is going to be around for many, many more seasons. But if you want to support us further, be sure to join our Patreon. That link is in the description. We'll be talking Big Brother over there. Thank you so much. We will see you here next time.